Hello everyone, here we are again at the Speak Up and Lead Talks, the place to be for sexy and savvy conversations. And today I have a very, very special guest. She is someone that I admire a lot, and she became a close friend. We met in 2013 in Zurich when she was just coming from a very long process of self-discovery, because she had already in mind that she wanted to help others through her art, and her art is the body. She's a lady who calls herself the Body Whisperer. Some of you might know her already. Yes, I'm talking about Gisela Rocha. Hello, Gisela, how are you today?
Thank you, Tulia. I'm so happy to be here having this conversation with you. It's very, very excited.
Yeah. Let me give you just a little bit more about Gisela. Gisela started her career very young. At the age of 28, she was already directing a company, a dancing company in Brazil, which was, by the way, her own dancing company. And she traveled with that company into Europe and US. Then eventually, the success expanded. She moved to US, and then love brought her to Switzerland. We are not going to talk about that part right now because it's a long story, but I would like to introduce Gisela to you. Let Gisela to tell you a little bit what she has been doing so far in this past few years, since 2013 when I met her, and which now in this process, as I said, she became a friend, a collaborator. She was one of my students as well, learning how to communicate not only with the body, but now verbally. And now I have the pleasure and the honor to have Gisela as a part of the experts team of the Speak Up and Lead Academy. But let's talk about Gisela now. Gisela, tell us a story. Tell us, 2013, did you find yourself? What happened?
What happened? Okay. Gisela now is a result of maybe 15 years of self-inquiry. Let's talk about, first was the career, the choreographer that you already spoke about, and I made 30 pieces, more than 30 ballets, working with performance. And 15 years ago, I felt an urge to understand what's going on with my body, to study breath techniques and self-knowledge, self-inquiry when I met my first master. And there I fall in love with the whole story of who are we, what we are doing here, why things goes wrong, what is integration. We talk a lot about that now. What is authenticity? But people really don't know what it is. So I went really into a long journey, and it was serious stuff. It was intensive in remote places, hard work, not comfortable, but what I got back was, I say, my soul back. And people say, your soul back? How can you explain that? So I got myself back. That means you become one, as my teacher explained. You think, you feel, and you act in harmony. And we talk about. So that is authenticity. Yeah?
This reconnection with your own, with your well-being and with your own self, right?
There is nothing outside of us. Nothing. So, you know, success is really not defined on which position you achieve or the amount of money you have in your bank. We know that. We know pop stars, we know CEO enter in a very dark places, because what is missing? Self-inquiry. It's missing really know yourself. And my teachers, they teach really that. They teach you how to say no, how to mean it, how to say yes, how to be comfortable in your skin, and but the most important is listening. Without listening, there is absolutely no conversation. The conversation starts in your mind. Okay? If you're not patient, people say to me, I'm not patient. So I said, what is that? You are not patient with yourself. How can you be a leader? How can you be a teacher? How can you be a boss if you don't start the conversation with yourself? I was very impatient, and that brought me to anxiety and burnout. So you learn to make space in your body and in your mind with breath techniques and body techniques, and you become a much better person or role or teacher or leader. So this knowledge should be to everyone. I cannot imagine run my life without that. And
yeah, that's excellent what you say, because, and I find it fascinating, this connection that we have, because everything you say, you come from the perception of your body, but I use the same language for the perception of your outer body, which is the outer communication, the verbal communication. But I'm fully aware that this conversation starts from within. And that's when you talk about authenticity, because this is something that people ask me, oh, I want, how can I be authentic? How can I be charismatic? And they try to emulate someone that they believe is charismatic. They try to be like, and the conversation is, as I say, start deep down. It's about you looking at yourself and knowing which is your own voice, right? And that's fascinating. And now my next question to you would be, okay, we know that is the reason you went there, and I know, and people listening to you will see your passion about the body, your understanding about the body, you master the body. But I know what motivates you to do this it goes beyond that. What exactly the passion? What is the passion that motivates you to go to this journey now with the movement for life?
Oh, beautiful question. My passion is, it's self-inquiry. It's self-knowledge. It's really knowing yourself and explore this internal world, which is very, very, very big, bigger than we can imagine. Without knowing yourself, that's why we create so much conflict, right? Because knowing means you're going to be a peacemaker. You're going to have compassion. You're going to be a great leader, a better teacher. But without knowing really who are you and what voices are running you, that's the body whispering, okay? Before, I see many people, they don't know who runs them. They have many voices, and these voices most of the time don't belong to them. For this, you need to spend time alone, time with yourself, time with all these teachers. So people say, but I have to travel, like you didn't know. We have teachers now who will pass to you this knowledge. You don't have to take a train and run the whole world to find a master. Yeah, but these are knowledges which is, I cannot imagine being without. It's like today I'm the pilot. Before I was the co-pilot. I was on the side, somebody was running me. Today I feel I am running my life. Maybe like that.
That's a very good analogy. That's great. That's good to hear. And what are you saying that about people thinking, where do I go to find this? But it's always good to have the guides, the mentors. But again, as you said before, the conversation starts within. And I think the first is like you have to start giving yourself time to listen to what your body is telling you. And I have a friend, she says something very interesting that I love this. She said that we have two voices, the wizard and the lizard. And the lizard always speaks louder, and we tend to listen to the lizard and forget the wizard. So we have to start at the wizard, this voice, the wizard voice we all have inside. And our body is fascinating on how much information it gives us, hints of everything that's around us, and we ignore it completely. And I fully agree with you. It's only when you really decide, I'm going to listen to my body, that you become the pilot, right?
Yes. It's like in neuroscience, you have the three brains. I don't know if you heard about. So it's you have the heart brain, you have the mind, so the ego or the mind who decides things, and you have the gut feeling. So that's say, wow, I have a feeling, I have an intuition. What is that? I had a dream. I should not go that way today. I should not sign this contract. So these are the voices. Some of them we should listen.
Yeah, this is something we have to. I think we always should listen to them, and then we have to be attentive, and then we take the time to analyze the message we're receiving, because we can go through this topic, but it's extensively, because it's a combination of our knowledge, the resources that we have acquired throughout our life, plus the instincts and feelings and signs that our body send to us. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating topic, and I'm happy that you'll be there with us to share that. We are going to be able to experience that in our own body. And I think we gave the hint to everybody of why this is important, but I believe this is an empowerment. It's an empowerment tool that we have once we learn how to use it. But I would like to hear from you, what if you could give just a couple of words to tell us why is this important? Why should we should be attentive to that, to our body conversation?
Mm-hmm. There is no dialogue without listening. We cannot start any conversation without the mastering what we call the listening. And when you listen, you give space. You give space to others and to yourself. You become a more healthy person. I love well-being, and I know for sure well-being is a skill to learn. Okay? If you have a lot of noise in your mind, you hardly gonna feel this space. You hardly gonna be able to sense what's going on around you. And I think when a person goes on stage also, I have been teaching a lot public speaking, and as you said, people want to copy this person or how authentic is, but most I invite my students to connect with their own self, and to invite investigating gestures, the rhythm of your talking, the how is sometimes one exercise, a breathing exercise, it changes completely the way we think. Yeah. So the invitation here is to first connect with what you're feeling, and then you go to the content of your speech, and then you can move on stage, and then you can be familiar with this space, this square called stage. What is the front, is the public, the back, the right, on the left. So there is a lot, Tulia, to talk about, but most is going to be a practical class of embodiment. People will experience, okay? I will guide you to enter in this body intelligence, this wisdom. And
and to be aware of your body, because I don't want to be, we can never generalize things, but we are both Brazilians, and we know from fact that there is a different perception of body in different cultures. The way you deal with the body and with the space that your body occupies is different between countries, right? And of course, being Brazilian, we know we occupy much more space than a Swiss person, because that's the way we express. And this understanding is very important for people, because for both sides, being a Brazilian, I have to learn sometimes to reduce my space, the space my body occupies, because it comes and occupy a lot of space. And as another person, let's say, let's put a Swiss person or a German person, they might come occupying a very small space, physical space, and they now have to learn how to be able to expand themselves on that space, right? And I love those exercises. I had the opportunity. I was never a professional dancer, but I did have my good times on stage and doing some acting as well. This is so important to know and to own that space. And this is one thing that we will work together for the people to know about the program of the Academy, because I know how important nowadays to have a public presence, even more on stage. It is an opportunity for you to create visibility for your business, visibility for what you're doing. But I read an article the other day in the LinkedIn, which I loved so much, because the title was it's not something like that. Being an expert doesn't mean that you're a speaker.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening nowadays, we know all experts want to be on stage, but they underestimate, I'm not saying everybody, but many underestimate the work involved to be on stage. And to own a stage, you have to honor the stage. It's not only to own it, you have to honor it first. And honoring it first, it means you have to know the space you occupy on that stage and how you project yourself to your audience. So that's very important in coming to understanding your body projection and how people perceive you, right?
Yes.
And more to come. We're not going to go into details on that. So what I want to ask you now, Gisela, so 3 actions right now. Let's say something, because as I said before, it starts from oneself and start from ourselves, listening to ourselves. Would it be like, let's say three actions that you would suggest the community could start doing on themselves, by themselves, right now?
Right now it's just you sit down and you feel and you connect your body. Where is your feet? What is touching? You breathe. You know, I give some breath exercise and we connect with the gestures. What's happened when you talk and what's happened to your hands. How to bring attention to your hands. I saw a lot of people who are shy. They are holding their hands on stage and we see it. And it's not a problem. I want to bring awareness. Feel that you are tense, you are scared, you are holding your hands. So it's all about coming with the sense to your perceptions. And be aware of your body, what space occupied your body. It's very difficult that we do here now. Yes, but what I can say is I invite you to come with me and I will guide you towards clarity, towards feel really connect and have intimacy with your own speech, have intimacy with your gaze of your eyes. So I do a lot of exercise, just walking, stop in front of the camera or in front of the public, relax your gaze, exercise of mirrors. There are, truly, it's like the vocabulary is very big. But what I can say, the result is amazing. People really land into their own body language. Yeah. And that's the way, that's when the presence appears. That's when you project movement and energy and voice. When first I do all this exercise, it's incredible the difference people really get into, I say, the masks fall. There is no more mask, and then you see the authentic person there really deliver a beautiful story and in connection with your own body, with your own language, with who are you. So I invite people to have intimacy
with their own selves.
Yes, only when you have with yourself, you can have with the whole big yes, 2,000 people in the park. You can really stand there and you feel like you're at home, because it's all about, my campaign is coming home. Come back home.
That's a lovely slogan. Coming home is something
back home.
Connect home, right? Yeah.
I don't know if I answer you, because it's very abstract for me to start to say the exercise here, but I can, there are many beautiful exercises.
No, I think people would grasp the idea about just giving themselves time to look at their physical body and then start feeling it, feeling your body. Okay, my last question for you would be, so in your program, which is part to be sharing with us, I know we preparing something very specific for the Academy, because we have a focus on the communication leadership. Of course, there will be something very specific for that. But could you share, just don't give all your secrets away, some key points that in this program that you will be sharing with people, that they will feel like very excited that they should be there with us in November?
One of the famous exercise that has a very great result is I bring people to the awareness for the first thing is walking. I give them the technique, how you walk and how you project the solar plexus. And it's like a lot of physics in there. And I see already a big change on the way they walk. And then I will talk about gestures and tempo and how you connect with your text. It's like the whole choreography of meaning and gesture, expand and contraction, how to project energy, how to open up in a way that, yeah, this vulnerability become your strengths, how to remove the walls, because sometimes people go on stage a lot of protection. So I teach them how to remove these walls and become
and
them.
found ground. And this is one thing, while you're talking, something came to my mind. A good friend back in Ireland, she once told me that she was a person that she would fall very easily because she would step very she wouldn't physically step grounded, and she was through like a self-development process. And one of the things that she was told in this process, you have to learn how to really step in the ground. So then of course this would reflect to everything she would do, because she was not someone to grasp things could flow from her hands. Is this not fascinating? Because when you say about walking, and my people say like, well, what am I gonna walk? What the hell is this walk? I know how to walk. As everybody, as I say, everybody talks, but very few communicate, right? It's the same. You can be walking, but the way you walk, the way you step on the ground immediately shows if you have confidence, if you're credible, if you have authority. And most people are not aware of that. And if you are not aware of that, like my friend was not, and when you told, and then you have to work on that. And that is of course, it's your style, it's your way, but there's certain things that will need to improve to be able to show a presence that you want to show. Because this is when people perceives you in a way that then you find out that's not the way you want them to perceive you, or the way you thought they will perceive you. But that's excellent. Walking.
No, yeah, people are not aware.
Yeah, some people are not aware. I do be. You can just sit and go to presentations and see how people get on stage and how people get into a room. The way they're walking, you perceive immediately. We immediately make an assessment of how strong, how confident or not that person.
Yeah, and because we're going to explore many exercises. The invitation will be back to your body, back to your sense, and also the exercises bring you to a certain relaxation, which you're going to be more present and speak better. Which is not being comfortable on stage. It's not something like that. I don't believe in that. Stage is energy, is connection. But what people don't know, and I know for sure because I have been teaching a lot public speaking, I will give them the chance to explore many ways and what's happened, and then they found their own way. We're going to explore direction of movements, what's happened with the square, okay, what's happened with your back, with your front. And I think the biggest problem, what I thought with many students who go on stage, they prepare the speech, is the coordination with the gesture. Where's my hands? Where's my arms? Where should I look? And this is demand, you're not going to copy anybody, but you have to go into a laboratory of real exploration. That's movement. This is what I call movement vocabulary. Okay, you learn the A, B, C, D as words. I'm going to teach you in movement, in gesture. And that's very, very interesting. You're going to see the result, what's happened. And
I am very excited because every time I'm with you, I've been with you many times, and I always learn a lot, because it's a different way of perceiving oneself, and it's awesome, and it's also fun. And every time you work with the body is always, it renews the energy and is awesome.
It's fun, it's liberating.
Sorry?
It's fun, it's liberating, and also gives you understand of your own energy, and you can master that. You know, that's like the center. You can master before you go talk. You really have a sense of I am the center, and this comes out of me. So I am projecting energy. I'm projecting light. I am projecting words. I am projecting my story. So it's about a beamer. You are a beamer, and you're gonna project, and that's a beautiful picture also, I think.
Excellent, lovely, I love it. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Gisela, for sharing your time with us. I'm sure everybody who will watch this video is going to be very excited. And again, everybody, so this is us. We'll be there on November 10th in Zurich. You will find information about our kickoff for the Speak Up and Lead Academy. And we have a very, you've seen already one of our experts, Evelyn, now Gisela, and more to come. And looking forward to meeting there. Join us for this adventure that is going to be a full day that will really, really change your perception of many things, including of your own body. Thank you so much and talk soon. Bye for now.